Welcome to the SBC show at 94.1 Boston radio station. Today we are going to talk some NFL, Panthers, and Browns QB situations. Now, we just saw a trade go down between these two franchises of Baker Mayfield for a fifth round draft pick. So we're going to be covering that as well as both their QB situations and some new signings and draft picks. So I think we should start this one with talking about the Cleveland Browns. So I have to ask you guys, do you think that even though Baker Mayfield's relationship with the Browns wasn't that good after they traded for Deshaun Watson, do you think that they should have kept him anyway?
Yeah, because Watson could still possibly get suspended by the NFL after, because they're still investigating him, and possibly he would be out for almost half the season, because an 8 game suspension would basically mean like six, like almost half the games you're out. So you need a reliable backup who can help carry the team, and their QBs right now are Josh Rosen, who's a bust, who has not proven himself, and Jacoby Brissett, who can be reliable at sometimes, but sometimes he's shown that he's not capable of being a good QB. So you should have kept Baker because he's already proven he's already won a playoff game with the Browns, their first one in basically their entire history, for the new Browns. So they should have kept him.
I personally think that the Browns should have got rid of him. He may have won a playoff game, but that's it. It was just he could not execute very well in Cleveland. He was he wasn't good and he wasn't putting up good statistics with two top 15 wide receivers as in Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. So for that reason, I would have to get rid of him. Now he's going to be in the Panthers room that does have some wide receiver depth in there as well. I'll be curious to see what he does there.
Yeah, I definitely sort of agree with both of you in that situation where they should have kept Baker Mayfield if they could, but I don't really think that they could have because it was bad blood at that situation and they had to move on from him. And it's unfortunate they only got a fifth round draft pick. But I want to touch on more on Jacoby Brissett and Josh Rosen. So, for those of you that remember, when Andrew Luck had a surprising retirement right before I believe the 2019 NFL season, yeah, and Jacoby Brissett had to come in and be the starter, and he wasn't great, but he did a decent job, and I think that that's kind of going to be his role here because Watson's going to probably miss at least 4 to 8 games somewhere around there. So I think while Jacoby Brissett isn't a great quarterback, he's a good enough quarterback to at least, not have the Browns be one of the worst teams in the league. So, yeah, what do you guys think about Jacoby Brissett?
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett's should not be them. I'd still prefer Baker over him because the sheer fact is he's unproven. He was like the backup for Tom Brady. That's why he's never got any playing time when he was with the Patriots. But for the Colts, they replaced him after one season when they traded for Carson Wentz, and then he left, and then he joined, and I don't remember where he joined, but he didn't play at all. So he's not. So that means he's basically not the one who can lead. He's not a starting caliber QB because he's getting replaced 1 year. The one time he was a starting QB, he got replaced the next year after by Carson Wentz.
Right. So I would not go with Brissett as he was Tom Brady's third stringer 1 year when he got suspended, so then he was considered the second stringer for his Tom Brady suspension. So then Jimmy Garoppolo took over and was absolutely phenomenal, but once Brissett in, he just could not put up good statistical numbers with a pretty decent wide receiver room. So that is why I just think you can't run with Jacoby as your starting QB.
Okay, and the last thing on the Browns here is we're all going to say if we think the Browns would have made the playoffs with Watson and how they're going to do without him. My opinion, I think the Browns would have probably been like the 7th seed, maybe even the 8th seed, which probably wouldn't have, that wouldn't get them into the playoffs. They would be right on that borderline. I think with Watson, they probably just miss out on the playoffs, maybe just sneak in, but I say they just miss out. With Brissett playing half the season, which is what I project, they're probably going to get, I would say, about 7 wins. And then if Watson is out for the whole season, then it might be even less. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So, what do you think?
I think that the Browns, if they don't get Watson, if he's out for like half the season, they're for sure missing the playoffs, and I think they're like a top 10 draft pick, which means they're like one of the bottom teams in the league. I mean, that's why they put his base salary at $1 million, because they figure he might get suspended for a year, so they have to keep him at $1 million and then pay him like a lot more. So, like at least, so they're gonna be a top 10 draft pick if he does not play. But if he does play, I'd say they probably like the last team out.
I personally do not know this one, so I am gonna have someone call in on the on our website. You can see our phone number to call us in and share your thoughts on this situation. So just look at our website to call us. Yeah. So. All right, we got a caller. Hello.
Yo, what's up, guys? So, I know you're talking about the Browns and how they may go to the playoffs, but for me, the Browns are just not good enough. They can add whoever they want. They can add one of the greatest players of all time. They still cannot go to the playoffs. It's the Browns. So, what do you want from them? They got Amari Cooper over the offseason. They got Deshaun Watson. He may be facing suspension, but the Browns are not going anywhere this season. Even though the AFC South, I think it is, or AFC North, it may be like wherever division they are, it may be close, but the Browns are not going to the playoffs.
Yeah, I totally see your point on that one, considering that they play in a great division in the AFC North with teams like the Ravens and the Bengals, who even with Deshaun Watson, I think are better. So, I know the Ravens missed the playoffs last year, but they're going to be coming back really good this year because they had so many injuries in that secondary, so they should be totally fine this year. But Steelers, I don't have many hopes for them.
And we also forgot about the Bengals, which are the reigning AFC champions, and like we're probably one play away from winning the entire Super Bowl. And they basically re-signed all the players they needed to re-sign. They got Burrow help on the O-line so that he doesn't have to scramble for his life. And they also have one of the best wide receivers in Jamar Chase, and some underrated wide receivers like T. Higgins. And they have a really good running back in Joe Mixon. So they're really good on the offensive side, and on defense they re-signed all the players they needed to do on defense. So yeah, the Bengals, they'll have a tough time in that division.
All right, so that's going to do it for the show. I hope you guys enjoyed listening, and we'll catch you in the next one.
See ya.
See ya.